was that until the next day. Because at 9 a.m., I woke up to CPS banging on my door. Two caseworkers stood there with a police officer. My daughter came downstairs for breakfast and asked why the police were there. The caseworkers insisted on inspecting our home immediately. When they were finished investigating, they all had an extremely confused expression on their faces. The report claimed we were starving our daughter, keeping her locked in the basement, and that my husband was inappropriately touching them during forced washing rituals. The whole investigation took 6 hours while my daughter missed school and I missed work. If it wasn't for some quick thinking, I would have lost my kid. It was pretty obvious that Linda was behind it all, but I didn't want to point fingers until I had some concrete evidence. And the next day, I got it, because I was picking my daughter up from school when I heard an annoying voice speaking behind me. I turned around to see Linda, bragging about how she had put me in my place. The moms beside her looked concerned, but I ignored them. "Oh, I didn't even notice you standing in front of me." Her voice dripped with self-righteousness. "Guess I better come clean about yesterday. My bad. I really did think your husband was well, you know, after all, he did end up with someone like you." She then cackled like a witch who would have been burned alive at the Salem witch trials, but I just let her, because she was missing one crucial detail. I'm not the kind of bitch who falls apart when pushed. I'm the bitch who gets strategic. The next morning brought more harassment. Linda showed up at my workplace, a municipal water treatment facility 20 minutes from the school. Security called me down to the lobby where she stood arguing with a guard about her right to speak with employees. I walked past her without acknowledgement, but she followed me outside to the parking lot. She waved papers in my face, some kind of petition she'd created overnight. I kept walking to my car while she ranted about water conservation and proper parenting. When I drove away, she stood there screaming at my taillights. That afternoon at pickup, 3 mothers approached me separately. Each one whispered that Linda had been calling them all morning, trying to recruit them for some kind of intervention. One mother, Catherine, looked particularly uncomfortable. She mentioned Linda had asked for their home addresses to send information packets about childhood OCD. I thanked them for the warning and continued documenting everything in my phone. Screenshots, timestamps, witness names. My engineering brain treated it like a project requiring careful data collection. The harassment escalated quickly. Linda started showing up wherever I went. The grocery store, the gas station, even outside my gym. She never approached directly, just watched from a distance while texting furiously. Other parents began noticing her behavior. Several mentioned seeing her car parked outside the school for hours after dismissal. My husband suggested we file a restraining order, but I had other plans. Linda's divorce was messy, according to the school gossip network. Her ex had primary custody of their older son, and she was fighting for more time with the younger one. Financial records were public in custody disputes. I knew where to look. The following week, Linda organized a water awareness meeting at the community center. She sent invitations to every parent in our grade, complete with misleading statistics about hand washing and mental health. The flyer featured a stock photo of crying children next to dry riverbeds. I attended the meeting. Linda had set up a PowerPoint presentation filled with cherry-picked data and emotional manipulation. She spoke passionately about protecting our children from obsessive behaviors disguised as health consciousness. Several parents shifted uncomfortably in their seats. When she finished, I stood up calmly. I didn't argue or defend myself. Instead, I asked if anyone had questions about our local water system. A few hands went up. I spent 20 minutes explaining how our treatment facility worked, how we monitored usage, and how residential consumption compared to industrial use. I used simple terms and real numbers. No emotion, just facts. Linda tried interrupting several times, but the other parents were genuinely interested. One father asked